Alright, all you video gamers, welcome to yet another international head-kicking football TV edition of the DJ Smokey's True Video Game Stories. And with a title like that, we decided to go with the classic M. Dickey game, none other than Grassroots. And for those who are wondering out there, we were supposed to mention this game a long time ago, a part of the month of independence, but said, hey, let's include it for Sports Month instead. So with that explanation out of the way, folks, I think it's time for us to get ready to lace up those cleats, head out into that open field, and prepare to pull off a play-late kick like no other as we get ready to paint the picture. Alright, this video game story began approximately 2 years ago when I decided to pick up this game after playing just about every other M. Dickey game that he's come out with the exception of the musical game that he had that I keep forgetting the name of. And when I first started to play this game, I decided to name every single character in this game or our team after TV shows that I watched with different names, with the exception of the captain of the team that I ended up calling Franz Kafka. And every single time I would score a goal with Franz Kafka, I would have queued up on YouTube the clip from home movies of the rock opera of Franz Kafka to celebrate it without screaming goal at the top of my lungs. And as a matter of fact, that was the reason why in the world we switched all the names of the people to TV show things, so people won't think we're going crazy while playing this game. And one of the other people on our team besides Franz Kafka would be Steve Jones. And I was going to call him Steve Wilkos after the Steve Wilkos show, but I didn't want to get sued, so Steve Jones. Then we named somebody called Loopy, the only girl character on our team, who was called Loopy Jones after the show Life with Loopy. Then you had somebody else on the backfield that was called Frank, and I don't remember why I called him Frank, but he looked like a Frank, so I called him Frank. And while we were making our way through the entire world of soccer by going to places like China, Brazil, Italy, and even to South America, we would dominate every place we would go to until we would reach, well, South America. Now, the only reason why I said South America twice is because they challenged us to a rematch because we dominated them with a Pele kick when they had these tiny little soccer balls that were a little bit smaller than most, and it made it easier for us to score a goal on goals that were bigger than you could possibly imagine. They were giving away goals with these balls that they were using. So they challenged us to a rematch, and for some strange reason, they decided to change the balls, and from the small balls that they were using before, they decided to switch things up and use human heads. No, I'm not kidding, folks. They switched it up and used human heads instead of the tiny little golf balls that they had for the soccer ball for this game, and I said, oh boy, I think we pissed somebody off. Why are they playing with human heads? We need to get out of here immediately. And while I was playing the game, first half we scored 5 goals, Franz Kafka passing it on over to Loopy, then hitting the ball over to Steve for him to hit a Pele kick was our classic move to score goals on these guys every single time. And the plan was going smooth until we hit the second half. Now, when we hit the second half of this game, folks, the keyboard decided to say, I quit, and the down button on the keyboard just decided to stop working, along with the left key on the keyboard as well. So I started to panic. I said, why in the world I can't move? I can't move in these directions. And I had to search through my entire closet for the keyboard my grandmother gave me as a gift for the old computer I had to actually wipe the dust off of it, hook it up to my laptop, cross my fingers to hope this thing still worked after not using it for well over 6 months, and then decided to go back at it to try to beat South America. And when we started to use this keyboard, since it was a gaming keyboard, we noticed that there was a couple of other interesting buttons that we could use for it, including a button to quickly turn around the player to pass the ball a little bit easier than what we did before, which was absolutely perfect because none other than Steve would headbutt the ball to Loopy, where Loopy would decide to do a Trouble in Paradise kick right on over to Franz Kafka that led to that Pele kick that he did that Steve would used to do, for the ball to go in the goal or head to go in the goal, for me to say, he is Franz Kafka. But unfortunately, throughout all the laughs I had during this game while kicking around human heads on the field, the laughter would end the second when they decided to injure our goalie right near the 1 minute mark for us to shoot a penalty shot and for us to miss, because the person who would replace him would be a character we forgot that we had in the game called John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. Or was it John Jingleheimer? I think it was that for short because we couldn't fit the whole name in there. And yeah, with him in the game, it ruined the rhythm. They were able to score another 5 more goals, and with less than a minute left to go, was able to score yet another goal, tying the game up 6-6. And I started to panic because John Jingleheimer Schmidt almost cost us the game until I decided to substitute him with a character I couldn't stand in every single M-Dicky game universe I've ever seen him in, and I had to switch him out with, of all people, Boomtown. Our ringer, and a guy we was able to get once we went through China because he wanted to join the team, and the only reason I had him on the team is because he was possibly one of the best goalies in this game next to Franz Kafka. And once Boomtown got into the game, and when South America tried to kick the ball across the field, I don't know if his head's made out of titanium or some strong rubber, because he was able to headbutt that ball all the way back toward their own goal for Franz Kafka to slide in and give the ball a little jimmy kick, and then for that ball to just sail right into the goal in less than 3 seconds for us to win the game against South America and get the hell out of here before we end up like one of those human heads that was on the field. And ever since that day, we never, and I mean ever, went to South America to play a game of football ever again, since they like to have rematches and scare their opponents with living human heads. Because I'm pretty sure one of those heads had eyeballs in it when they tried to kick it across the field. Never again. Never again. And I guess with that said, folks, wraps it up for another international head-kicking football TV edition of the DJ Smokey's True Video Game Stories. And with that, we'll be back with more right after this. So don't go anywhere just yet, folks, and stay tuned.